That's some delicious gasoline. It's like gas with mouthwash flavoring. Jules and I were over here the other day at the well, and it was making a weird noise. It's not making any noise right now because the pump's not running, but we've got the water running, and when the pump kicks on, we're gonna listen. Again, I want you guys to listen closely to what it sounds like. I don't think it's normal. I can hear just the hum of the pump, but only if I put my ear on it. I don't hear anything. It's like, I don't know, 2-3 weeks ago, or maybe a month ago, Jules and I were out here, and you could really hear it like, it was super loud, but nothing now. It's really cold in my ear though. So listening at the vent right here, you can hear a trickle of water. Listen, can you hear that? So there's 2 vents right here. Tell me if you can hear a trickle of water in there.
Oh yeah, it sounds pretty steady too.
Maybe it's just the noise of the water going through the pipe? I wouldn't think so though. We're gonna see if we can lift this up at all and move the lid a little bit. Oh man, that thing's way on there. Oh, got it. Oh, forgot to get the tripod, so you guys hang out right down here, okay? Hopefully you can see all right. Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, we can't see too much down in there, can we? All right. Oh, hello? We'll get the water running again, and we'll have you guys take a look down there and see what you can see, huh? Sounds pretty cool. Listen. Hello? What you doing down there? Hello? This is Idaho calling China. Are you there? I think we're gonna need to get a flashlight. There we go. Ah, you hear it?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. That's the best view we got so far. It's a little shaky, but it looks like it's coming out of that O-ring. Oh yeah, it's coming out the other side too. All right, well, you guys heard it and saw it. To me, it looks like it is the O-ring in that pitless adapter that's leaking. So I'm guessing that we need to replace that O-ring. It wouldn't be a big deal, probably, but it wastes, imagine, a significant amount of power because it takes a lot longer for it to build the pressure up in the pressure tank in the root cellar. There is a check valve though under the house before it gets to the pressure tank. So we're not losing pressure like from the pressure tank back into the well. The check valve's stopping it. So it's just as it's building up pressure, it has to run longer to build up that pressure because it's kind of like you got a faucet open and it's building up pressure at the same time. Wasting electricity. The water's going right back in the well, so we're not losing water. Well, that's gonna have to wait till we go to town. So we're gonna work on some other projects while we'll wait till we get that O-ring. Check these guys out, man. Went down to Spokane yesterday and picked up these drums. This first drum is a 55-gallon steel food grade drum. It had frozen mango pulp in it. Let's open it up here and come on now. Oh yeah. Look at that, it's way clean. It doesn't even smell like mangoes at all. They cleaned it out real good. And check it out. We've got an O-ring to seal it here. This drum is for a super special project that I'll be sharing with you guys coming up soon. But what I want you to do is guess. What do you think this drum is gonna be used for here on a homestead that is a little bit geared towards preparedness, all right? What would you use a steel drum for like that? So we got these 2 drums here. This one had a mouthwash in it. Whoop. You could totally smell the mouthwash. It's got a pretty brisk aroma. Actually, it smells pretty delicious. So this one's mouthwash, and this one, looking at the label, it looks like it had ammonia in it, or at least some solution that had some ammonia in it. It says this is a return condensate treatment, and over here it says an ammonia solution, and we've got some kind of hazardous warning stuff right here. But from the factory or from the store, wherever, when they recycled it, says this container's been rinsed triple rinse. Oh, that's good. That's what we want. We want them nice and clean. So we're gonna look in here, and the cap doesn't smell like anything. Inside of it doesn't smell like anything. You guys take a look in there and see if you can see anything. And then, whoa, kitty. Yeah, the log roll. We'll take a look in there and see how clean they are. And if they're clean, then we'll go fill them up because we're going to use these for storing gas. All right, you guys take a look in there. Huh. Wow, man. That looks clean and dry. Looks super clean, man. I don't see nothing in there. All right, so did you guys see anything in there? I didn't see anything. We'll look in the mouthwash one and make sure that there's no mouthwash residue in there. This one doesn't say triple rinsed on it anywhere. Maybe because it didn't have any harmful chemicals in it, right? Unless you think mouthwash is harmful, I don't know. We'll open this guy up. Should probably be using 2 hands. Hold on a second. One of the reasons that I like the SOG tool better than like a Leatherman is because, look at this. The way that the handles work, you could put it like this, and these are basically locked there. Like they don't move. They don't move at all when you hold it like this, right? Or like this. However size you need it, it'll stay, and it always moves that direction. Like you can't move one handle independent of the other handle. It's impossible. In a lot of ways, that makes it really cool because to take this bung out, well, you can use these tools. No problemo. Whew, mouthwash, it's way strong. That makes me think that there's some residual mouthwash in there. All right, so there you go, guys. There is your industrial strength mouthwash. We'll have to rinse that out. So we're definitely going to want to rinse this one out. This one I think is good to go. We'll fill that one up for sure. And I'm kind of debating whether to fill them both up with gas, because we are coming into generator season, and the last few years, and we just went back and forth, right, to the gas station with 5-gallon jugs, and it was kind of a pain. It always happens at the worst time, right? When you don't want to go to the gas station, that's when you have to go. So this year, I want to put gas in these. That way, we can just pump it right out of here into the generator. Oh, and by the way, these are HDPE plastic drums, which is the same type of plastic that they use for making plastic gas cans. So it's the exact same thing. Can you smell it?
Wow, it smells like some kind of a toothpaste or something.
The guy said it was mouthwash.
Oh. Wow. Yeah, it's strong.
Yeah.
It says it's gross.
All right, let's clean it out. Guess we'll put the plug in. We can roll it up and down the deck once we get a good amount of water in there. That ought to do it, huh? Use our wrench to tighten up our bung. All right, let's see what comes out. Think it's gonna be colored or clear? I kind of think it's gonna be clear from what it looked like before, unless it's blue. It might be blue. Ready? Here we go. Looks pretty clear. So I figured if I did it like that and I sprayed it up to the top, it would hit and splatter and then rinse everything down to the bottom. Maybe. I think that's probably pretty good. We'll do one more big rinse, see if we get more foam. If not, we'll call it good. My hands are so cold, man. Look at that. No foam. No foam at all. All right, let's go fill these guys up. You guys might be wondering why I went with the plastic instead of the steel. Well, steel can rust, right? If it's sitting out there for a long period of time, years and years, it could rust. Also, the plastic, right? This isn't for long-term storage. We're not like trying to store it for 10 years or something here, right? It's intended to be used yearly or every other year. So the gas is going to be going through it. Not a big deal. And like I said earlier, the HDPE is same stuff that they use for your plastic fuel tanks. Or your plastic jerry cans, you know. We're gonna put fuel stabilizer in it, and we're gonna get non-ethanol fuel and also off-road diesel. All right, here we go. So we got 55 gallons of off-road diesel, and the cost was $168. We also got 55 gallons of non-ethanol fuel. The price was $230.95. That was not cheap, man. But it's gonna be way more like, what do you call it when something's easier? It's called way more convenient, right? Way more convenient this winter than going back and forth to the gas station. So let me know what you think about these plastic barrels. If you would use plastic, or if you would have just gone with the steel, no matter what, right? Even though you're gonna use the fuel once a year, once every other year, you know, you're gonna go through it and refill it. And so if you're thinking about wanting to do something like this, but you don't have a place near you where you can get barrels, I'll put a link down in the description below where you can pick some up online, and they'll just deliver them right to your house, man. Then you go fill them up and you have fuel, just in case. And maybe you don't want to just use it, you know, regularly. You want to store it long term because you know that it's good to be prepared. Well, I know that too. And we're going to be getting more. If these work out good, how I think they're going to work, we're going to be getting more, and we're going to be storing it long term so that we'll always have fuel, man, if we need it. Kind of rotate through it though, you know? Like if we had 150 gallons of gas and you just rotate through them, I mean, I think that would be awesome. I want to do a little bit more research to see if we'd want to use steel or if we want to just keep going with the plastic or not. But I'm liking the plastic, man. They don't dent, they don't rust. That all seems pretty good to me. All right, let's see if we can't get these guys unloaded. You know, we could use the tractor, but I think I'm gonna try to roll them off and have a dolly as well. Let's see what we can do. See if we're man enough. Imagine these things are way heavy, man. All right, let's try the diesel first, because that's getting dropped off up here. Perfectly balance it. There we go. And look at that, man. No spillage. Probably lay it down and roll it. Oh, you think if we lay it down, we can pick it back up? We're fixing to find out, man. All right, you guys hang out right here for a second. All right, let's see. Oh man, that thing's heavy. Think no problem. Right here. Perfect. This is where we park the tractor right here in front of the woodshed, so that when we go to plow, we push the snow that way from in front of the garage, and then we can push it out that way. So that'll be the perfect spot for the diesel. And we're not using the wood on that side of the woodshed this year. We're using this wood here this year, that wood next year, and then we'll fill this one up. So every other year has 2 summers to dry. Finally done with these guys. I mean, those 5 cans, right, that we use, right, we cycle through, we fill up all 5 of them. That's 25 gallons right there. This is only 55 gallons, right? So it's definitely not a long-term storage situation. Since when we go through those 5 cans, and I don't know, I bet we'll go through that whole drum this winter, I bet. Here we go. That is awesome, man. The ease of getting it down here, lay it down and roll it. Stand it back up. Super simple. So now that we got our fuel over here, we need a way to get the fuel out of here into there. We're gonna use this hand pump. I know there's a lot of different ways you could probably do it. I know they make like a cap that you can put on there and it'll automatically like siphon into there somehow, but I don't want to deal with that. I want it to be like as kind of foolproof as possible. I don't want it to accidentally overfill and run everywhere and make a big mess. So we're going with a hand pump, traditional hand pump. You know, one of the things that I think is important for being prepared, right, and all of that is the simplicity of stuff. I know that our solar system, all of that is not simple at all, right? I mean, it's simple, but there's a lot that could go wrong with it that you wouldn't be able to fix with like duct tape and a screwdriver and a paper clip. But for the convenience of living, it's awesome. So we're trying to simplify some things that we can simplify, such as, well, our fuel delivery system. So let's see how this thing is gonna work. Oh, this is the heart and soul of it. This is the pump. Wow, pretty sturdy. Looks like it's cast iron. Got a little owner's manual. We could probably figure it out though without the owner's manual. Obviously we're gonna need to have this hand crank. See if we can do it all with our trusty tool here. Okay, we've got our draw pipes here. It all looks like it's pretty heavy duty stuff. This one goes into the pump, I bet. So far so good. This guy, hopefully it fits over this fatter one here. Kind of should have probably thought of that first. It does not. Blah. Blah. Alright. No biggie. This guy is gonna go in here. But we'll wait until we get it into the barrel. Which side? These are the fine threads. So this barrel has a coarse thread and a fine thread. I don't remember which one's which. This is the coarse thread, of course. This one's the fine thread. So don't drop this in there too hard because you don't want to poke a hole in the bottom. That's some delicious gasoline. It's like gas with mouthwash flavoring. There we go. Well, that's good. Now let's see if it pumps. This hose is way cold. And I think its memory is pretty strong. Can't even bite it. Okay. Just go ahead and pump it right back into the drum and see how well she pumps. Wow, that's pretty good. Not bad at all. Let's try to get it in our generator. Whoa, it's almost full. It's like full. Now, what if we go backwards? I think it'll suck it all back in. It works, and that is really cool because I was tired of doing 5-gallon cans. We're gonna warm up the generator, change the oil, and then we're gonna convert this generator here to an automatic shut-off generator. It won't automatically start, but it'll automatically shut off when we want it to. So we put our generator up on these blocks here so that we could just slide our oil container underneath it. Makes changing the oil way more easy. Already warmed up the engine, and so we're ready to change the oil. And we also added this little hour meter right here. You just hook it up around the spark plug. It's got a battery in it. Keeps track of your hours when you're running. We're at 106 hours on this generator. That way we can kind of keep track of, you know, when we need to change the oil. We're 6 hours over where I wanted to change it, but it's doing good. It's better than we did with our last generator. I probably changed the oil on that thing like twice in its whole lifetime. Told you guys before in other videos, right? I hate maintenance. That's why I like very low maintenance things like solar and those lithium batteries that we got, because I don't want to maintain lead acid batteries. I'd prefer not to have to maintain a generator, but living off grid, North Idaho in the wintertime, super hard to make enough solar. I mean, we've got 30 solar panels, and when it's cloudy for a few days, we do not have enough power. We're right at the high mark. I can't really turn this generator into an auto start, auto stop feature because it has a manual choke, and so that's going to make it really difficult. It does not like to start without the choke when it's cold, so it just wouldn't work. But we can turn it into an auto shut off of our solar system. And so we can fill it up full of gas, and then we can come out and start the generator when we need to, which isn't all that often. But then we can just leave it and forget it, and it will shut off automatically. At least that's what I'm going to try to do. And I'll show you how I do it, because I did it on a previous generator. I just haven't done it on this one yet. So let's take it apart and we'll see how we can do that. We need to get to this switch right here. Ooh. I don't know which ones they are though, but we got a wiring harness right here that we could probably tap into if we knew which one killed the engine for sure. I'd like to get this guy off of there. All right, we gotta do a little bit of extra work to get this thing off of here. Let's see if that'll do it. Oop, washers. Gonna have to find those. So what we wanna know is, when we turn this off, so we got a blue wire there. I bet that blue wire, wherever it goes, it's not in there. It's not here, it's not here. We got a blue wire here, 2 of them. That doesn't seem right. I'm gonna do a little investigation here. We'll get back to you on how we didn't do it. It took a little bit of figuring out, but I figured out when you switch this to the stop position, right, and you turn it, you want to turn the generator off when it's running, that's this position. Anyway, all you got to do is take that switch out and figure out what happens when you do that, okay? Then, now I know it's this one and this one get closed, right? So I started up the generator, and then I just used a jumper cable, and I jumped the two together and to see what would happen, and it shut off, right? So that's exactly what we want. So we need to connect a wire to here so that we can close that switch inside when the batteries get charged. Right now, we just got to make some little pigtails so that we can connect a wire to it that'll go inside the shed, and then we can disconnect that wire if we want to ever move the generator. It's not like permanently wired to the shed. This is one of the wires. This is the other wire that we're adding to it. And so we just put them both together in this one connector here, and we'll crimp it down. That, make sure she's on there tight. Slide our little plastic cover back on there. All right, that's good. Put her back down through the hole and plug her back into the switch. So these 2 wires right here, they should shut off our generator when we connect them together. So we're gonna go ahead and strip this end here and just test it. Just make sure that we did it right, but it should shut it off. Unless for some reason I messed up, but I don't think so. Wrote it all down. Made it all fancy. Check it out right here, guys. This right here is the switch layout and what happens like when you flip the switch, where the power's at and all that kind of stuff. And then this is how you wire it to stop it right there. You got to connect black to white, which is what this is going to do. So let's start it up and see what happens. Look at that, man. We just killed the generator right here. So these wires then are going to be connected up and go inside, and we'll have to wire up the Victron smart battery monitor to be able to shut this down. But so far, we've got everything the way we want it. We got to button all this back up, and we're done out here working on the generator part. We just got to work on the inside part, the controls to make this thing shut down when our batteries reach 90%. I'm going to go with 90% instead of 100. So it doesn't like go into float, or it'll be sure to shut off. And 90% is a good amount to charge up with the generator. I know this is way too loud, guys, but check it out. Here's the wire. This switch right here, through here into the shed. Let's cruise in there. Whew. Man, that was loud, huh? Running the generator, even though I don't have to, we're bringing in 4,000 watts, but I want to test it and make sure that it shuts off. I'm not going to go through all the program stuff. I mean, you can just go online and learn how to program this thing yourself, but check it out. It comes in from down here, comes up, comes over. When the generator charges the batteries here up to my predetermined level, which is 90%, then it will shut off. Or when the solar panels charge it up to 90% plus the generator, it'll shut off at 90%. Tested it a couple times. Seems to be working great. That's a nice thing to have fixed. All right, let's see what other kind of winter prep stuff we can get done in this video before we got to call it quits. We've got untreated gas here in the wood splitter. So we're just draining it out. We'll put this in the generator because it's going to get burned up here in a few days probably. And we've got the treated gas here from our 55-gallon drum. Once the wood splitter is drained, we're going to top it off, run it for a little bit just to make sure that all of that treated gas is circulated throughout the system. Then we'll tarp it and it'll be ready for winter next spring when we need to start splitting more firewood. You've probably noticed that I've been talking a lot about preparedness lately. That's because it's been something that's just been on my mind. And I know that it is something that is on a lot of your minds as well. And so we reworked our preparedness checklist and we're expanding it and making it way better. So if you'd like to get it, there's a link down in the description below. Totally free to you. You can print it out, put it on your fridge, whatever you want to do with it. But it's a really helpful guide to help you get prepared for whatever might be coming down the road here anytime soon. As you can hear, the generator shut off just like it was supposed to when it reached its desired percentage. And we're still charging the rest of the way with solar today. While we have the opportunity and we have beautiful weather, we're going to go ahead and trim the apple tree. And also we're going to put a fence around it because the moose come in the wintertime and they like to try and destroy our apple trees. So we're going to just put a temporary fence around them for this year. Maybe next year they'll be big enough and then we can share a little bit with the moose. I don't know, but I don't want them to get them this year. Well, we just made it. It's been raining cats and dogs today. But check it out, the trees look good. You can barely even see the fence around them because the color of the fence kind of matches the color of the greenhouse back there. But guys, that is going to do it for this video. We hope you guys have a really great day and keep smiling.